Good afternoon, Flosstube. Today is Sunday the 18th of August 2024 and this is video number 22. I'm Lindsay, Cheshire Stitcher, both here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. Mostly it's about cross stitch, but I do share other crafts. 9 times out of 10 that's going to be my beading, which as ever I've got a little bit of it to show you today. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. It's lovely to see you here again. And if you are a new viewer, welcome to you. If you haven't done so already, I would very much appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. I have picked up a few new subscribers since my last video, so I am slowly creeping up now. We're on our way to 600. Woohoo! Right, so today I have got a FFO, I've got a couple of finishes, I've got a new start, I've got some stash enhancement, and was there something else? No, that was it. But before I start, you may remember last time round my daughter was on her way up for a visit, so I filmed a little bit earlier in the day, and the first thing she did when she arrived was pass me these. Now if you've been watching for a while, you'll know that I have inflammatory arthritis in my right hand. Well, I have it in both hands, but my right hand is worse, and in the winter my hands can get really cold, and if they get really cold they get very painful and I can't do much. Pardon me. So she made me fingerless gloves. They are the perfect size. I did wonder why out of the blue one day I got, can you measure your wrist for me? So I did. There we go. They are perfect. They fit absolutely perfectly. They land at the right point on my hands. She couldn't have done them any better for me. So that will, in the winter, will help an awful lot to keep my hands warm, because like I say, if they get too cold they get very painful. She did tell me what the pattern was called, but I can't remember. I should have written it down, but you know, brain like a sieve as ever. If you see me looking down, it's because my notes are down here, so I do apologise. And I also apologise if you can hear the washing machine in the background. It's on its third load of the day. It's a lovely day outside, so I'm getting caught up because it's supposed to rain again toward the end of the week. And I've realised, I've been watching back a few of my older videos for no particular reason, but you can hear a constant buzzy hummy noise in the background. It's the fish tank that my partner wanted and has been telling me for the last 3 months he's going to give it a good clean. He's going to take everything out. Yeah, it's not happened. It'll happen at some point. I hope so, because I'm sick of hearing it. It's a constant buzzy noise in the background and it's irritating. It irritates me, so it must get on your nerves, especially if you've got headphones on. Anyway, I'm wandering off again. Let's get started with my FFO. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you'll remember this. This is a token of love from the Cross Stitch Guild. I bought as a kit. It was one of 3 kits that were gifted to me by my mum in Christmas 2022, so it's one of the last things that she ever gave me. So I decided that I was going to do it as a memorial to her. So I left out the token of love, and there was a date as well. I based my numbers off that date. So I've put in the year of her birth, the year of her passing, and her initials are all in a dinky dye purple. The kit came with the blue. It's a Steph Francis silk, beautiful to work with, such a joy. Really I enjoyed it. I did enjoy stitching it. I started it on the 22nd of January this year, which was the 1 year anniversary of her passing, and I finished it on the 25th of June, which would have been her birthday, and that was what I'd planned to do. It took me a while to actually find the time to get to the range to find a frame. The only range around here that I know of is the one near my daughter's house, and it's not always easy to actually get there with the boys. So a few weeks back we were going up on a Saturday, and we called in on the way. I picked this frame out, which incidentally is called Winsford. Winsford is a town about 5 miles away. I didn't pick it for that reason. I picked it because it was the one that worked best with the stitching, but it made me laugh. That turned out to be a very expensive trip for this frame, because while we were there we went into Curry's and ended up buying a new fridge freezer and a new dishwasher as well. So there you go. An expensive frame. Do you know, I thought I was joking when I told her it was a really expensive frame. The actual frame was less than £2.50. Anyway, I digress. Couple of finishes for you. My rocket ship. Last time you saw it, I had this leg partially filled in, and there was a little bit of this blast off bit done, as the boys called it. I started this earlier this year for a quilt and realised I was not going to get it done by the deadline, so I pulled out and decided I was going to finish it, and it's going to go as an any child square. So we have a stash basically. Pardon me. And there are categories that are always in need for any child squares. Superheroes and princesses are the most popular, but at the moment, space. So it's like I say, it's going to go in as an any child square. Basically what that means is sometimes we get emergency quilt requests, which basically means that the child is terminal and probably he's only got a few months. If we've got enough squares in for whatever category they've picked, a quilt is made and sent immediately without the usual, you sign up, you stitch, you send in. That's usually about 3 or 4 month process. It can take 6 months or so from you requesting a quilt to actually getting a quilt. So this is going to go into the any child stash. It does need a bath, so please excuse it looking a bit grubby. It's very grubby, to be fair. And you can still see the marks from the Q-snap. So that's finish number 1. Well, technically that was finish number 2. Anyway, my other finish is, at long last, the giraffes. I finally finished the colourful giraffes. Yay! Last time you saw it, I had most of this ear to fill in. This area around the eye, and I think there was still a little bit in the top. And then there was little bits of backstitch. If I bring it, you see here, around some of the spots, only on the head, but some of the spots have a little bit of backstitch around them. So I started this on the 1st of January 2022, and I finished it on the 7th of August this year. Let me move back a little bit. Thoroughly enjoyed stitching it. I did change the fabric in the kit, because obviously as a kit it comes with Ada. I don't do Ada unless it's a Love Quilt Square. And I changed it to, it's probably a 27 count Linda, because that's what I seem to have quite a lot of. Very rarely stitching it anymore, but there we go. Again, it needs a bath. Not quite sure how I'm going to finish it, whether it's going to go in a frame, whether I'll make it into a big pillow, or whether or not it'll just end up in the box of doom. Speaking of the box of doom, if you would like me to pull it out and show you through it, let me know. I would probably either have to split it up over a few videos or just do it as an extra, because there's around 200 pieces in there, I would think, by now. Because I've been stitching 33 years, so a lot of stuff has just been finished and put in the box because I couldn't afford to frame it at the time, or there are one or two things in there that I stitched with no intentions of framing it or anything, just wanted to stitch it. Right, my new start is buried. I started my next love quilt square last Sunday whilst I was with the boys. I had them an extra day, so I should have filmed. I was going by every 2 weeks, would have been last week I filmed, but as I say, I had the boys, and it was my partner's long weekend off, but he worked overtime on the Sunday, so I would have recorded had I been able, but I couldn't. So this is it. It's got the two colours in it. It's got this purple there. That's going to be a crown, and then the grey. So there's another swirly bit down here. Basically, it says, "A beautiful princess sleeps here." Thoroughly enjoying it. So this has only had 3 days. So it had last Sunday, Monday and Wednesday. Which is why I didn't record on Wednesday, because I had the boys. I did say I might, but I couldn't remember if I had them or not. But I did. I had them last Wednesday, so I didn't get to film. I've had my roof fixed one day, which was causing a lot of noise. I have a flat roof over the kitchen, and the asphalt, the roofing felt had come away. So that had to be fixed. That's all done now, but it was very noisy while they did it. And I've had a couple of days where I've either not been feeling too great, or this index finger has been playing me up. It's been playing me up for weeks now. But there have been days where it's been so painful, I've even strapped it up just to try and ease the pain a bit. But again, you don't need to know that. This pattern is from the files of Love Quilts, so I can't share it with you as to where it's from, but I can say it's been a really nice stitch so far. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm kind of going to, I've got the boys again tomorrow, so I will do some more of the purple here, and then just to give myself a break, I'll come back down and do this little, so this bit on this side, just to break it up a little bit, because you know how boring it can be if you're stitching the same colour all the time. But anyway, that's my new start. So let's move on to my PhDs. Now, I've realised I frequently do not say what a PhD is, and I'm sorry about that. Basically, a PhD is a potential happy dance. Excuse me, I'm getting a bit, and I'm going to get told off because I haven't got a blue drink. Sorry, Jeanette. A PhD is a potential happy dance. We all do a happy dance when we finish a project. So I have potential happy dances, not whips. Right, first off, let's do the commission. Get it so it's sitting straight. Let's try it that way. There we go. Move it back a bit. Now you may remember last time round I said that Coffee Break Stitches on Zoom were doing a bit of a challenge event type thing for the Olympics. And you had to stitch 206 stitches a day because there was 206 countries taking part in the Olympics. And I did. Some days was a little bit more, some days was dead on, some days I didn't do any and had to catch up. But as you can see, I have done all of this down here, and I've done a lot of this here. I think last time I had a little bit of white here, so I've done a heck of a lot on it. I think there's about 4,000 stitches have gone in it. I am going to try and keep up with 200-ish a day. Pardon me, apart from Monday, because I'm usually too tired on a Monday after having the boys. I've done my stitches on it for today, which had me filling in, I chose to fill in all the little gaps here. So I'm steadily working my way across. But she is coming on. And it would be so nice to have her virtually finished by the end of the year, because 12 months now I've been doing this. And I am fed up with it. Oh no, I am fed up with it, but I'm not fed up with it, if that makes sense. I'm fed up with it taking so much of my time. But there we go. So she is coming on. She is getting there. As I say, I'm going to try and stick to the 200 stitches a day on her to see if we can get her finished this year. After that, in no particular order, my weekend stitch with Jeanette is Tonna's Rangies, which was a weekly stitch along from Sew ID. SOEDIDEE. It's a Dutch firm. I can't pronounce it, but never mind. Last time you saw it, I had literally got that bit there done. With my daughter visiting, not much happened on it. Last weekend was Cheshire Stitchers, so I didn't work on it on the Saturday. And what was I doing Sunday? There was something on Sunday. I had the boys. Duh. I had the boys last Sunday, so it didn't get worked on very much. But I have made progress. I finished that band. I was working on it last night, and I would have had, if you can see, look there, that flower, that in there was nearly finished, and I realised I'd made a mistake, so I had to rip it out. Otherwise that would have been sort of 27 and a bit done. There's a name that goes underneath it, so when I pick this up, once I've finished recording and tidied away, I will get that redone, I will get that band done, and then hopefully the next band is relatively simple, so I may get another band finished. There's 41 bands altogether. This is number 27. So I am predicting it will be finished this year. It was my birthday start this year, along with Jeanette. We did our usual 2 or 3 weeks on it. Started something else, and both decided that as much as we love the other project, we really wanted to both carry on with this, so that's what we've done. So we will go back to the other project, which is Nora Corbett's Tulip. And we haven't discussed it as yet, but I am assuming that that will be the project we go to after this. But anyway, absolutely loving it. I am using 40 count Vidal, which is an even weave from Zweigart, and a variety of red silks from my stash. This particular one is an MPI, if you bear with me. I won't take them out, but that's all my silks. I've got all sorts in there. There's Gloriana, there's Dinky Dyes, there's a thread gatherer. There's all sorts, lots of MPIs, and the Silk Mori, which is awful stuff to use. And that's in a bag that I made myself for this. And I have that lovely orange clamshell on the inside of it. This was a Christmas gift off my ex-husband. He knows I love giraffes, so he got me that as a Christmas gift, just as a little stocking filler. As an extra stocking filler. Every year he gives me a box of After Eights. Always has done. I love After Eights, so I always get a box of After Eights. Right. Beside that, as I say, last weekend was Cheshirestitchers. And now that the giraffes are finished, I decided this a little while ago, my next one to be worked on, to be chipped away at, to finish, is flea market flowers. This was my birthday start last year. Absolutely love it. It is a fantastic project to stitch. It really is. I can't remember what you'd seen last time you saw it, but those little dots there are the start of another. There's this is the biggest block, but it used this red in the centre, so I had a bit less, so I just counted down to there to do that. I've still got the centre of this flower to fill in, and obviously the leaves to finish, and then that will be another block finished. So this is going to be coming out every time I go to Cheshirestitchers or the Yorkshire Stitching Day, and it might come out occasionally in an evening because I just feel like it. But yeah, next one to be chipped away at, to be finished, and hopefully that will be this year. I've also worked on gathering honey. This came out to play on Friday night for a little bit. It was one of my Mania starts this year. I had 5 starts for Mania. And it's my first time ever stitching on 45 count linen. And here we go. I got about 140 stitches or something in it, so I did all of this and then came up here, and I've started on that flower there. Thoroughly enjoy it when I do work on it, but conditions have to be right, as in I need good light and my eyes aren't too tired, because it's, like I say, it's 45 count. I've never worked on 45 count before in my life. Thoroughly enjoy it, and I want to get it out a bit more to get it done. I am using a Dinky Dye Silk number 113 Cobar. I just had a look in my stash when I wanted to start it for something the right colour, and that's what I found. So there we go. And then my last PhD, put that on. That's in another bag I made myself. I do have more of this blue fabric, and it was one of them. My partner says, why don't you try changing them around? So I did. Personally, not a big fan of that. I have been making bags to sell. Some of you that watch this have got some of them. I'm getting better every time. I get a bit better. My zips are getting straighter. And next time round will be either just before or just after my first anniversary. So there will be a giveaway, and one of the things will be a bag. I just haven't decided what bag yet. So next up, in another bag I made myself, I love this fabric. Absolutely love this fabric. The only thing I haven't done is line these up. Didn't think about that. And as you can tell, it's not straight, but I made it for myself. And this houses Hendrika Gast, which is the summer stitch along from Sew ID. I am a little bit behind, but that's fine. So last time you saw it, I had started it and I was up to about here, I think, on the first 2 rows. So I have finished part 1 and part 2, and then I've got part 3, part 4 and part 5 partly done. I'd been working on it every evening all week and decided I wanted to change, so that's why I pulled honey out last night. And it's another reason I didn't film middle of the week, because I thought I haven't got enough to show. Between having days of being ill and not being able to do much because of my finger being so sore or being busy, I thought I haven't got enough. So I decided I'd wait. But there we go. The purple has now come in, and so has the blue. Loving it so far. Part 6 is out, but I'm going to finish 3, 4 and 5, and then I'll wait and I'll print 6 and 7 out and do the 2 rows together. My fabric is 35 count tin roof from Weeks that I bought from Flossie Sews and Grows at the Wrexham retreat back in end of May, and I'm using the sulky conversion pack. Now I am thinking that I am going to pull those out. Excuse my nails, I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'm not happy. That one there is very, very messy, so I may just pull that out. Might remember my last time round I had a bit of a rant about Royal Mail taking their time. Package with the threads in arrived in the UK on the 15th of August. Not August, July. And I got them on the 24th. 9 days. Not a happy girl. As I say, I'm using their sulky conversion pack. Had I realised, I've actually got a few of these. So that's the full range of the colours. Say the purple and the blue have now been used. Thoroughly enjoying it. And I will be back on it this next week to finish those parts. And that is it for PhDs. Nails. My nails are naked. Every 18 months, 2 years, I have a break from having my nails painted, just to give them a rest and time to recoup a little bit. I don't have acrylic nails because I am allergic to the acrylic. I just have my nails painted with, I think it's called gelish. So they have reached that point where I need a break, and I can tell when it starts happening because I have to have them really short and they still chip and they bend. And so for the next couple of months, unless I decide to paint them with bog standard varnish, my nails will be naked. So let's go on to my stash enhancement. I'm just going to pick a bit of it up off the floor. First of all, I've just realised I didn't show you my beading. Oops, I normally show you that really early on, don't I? I do apologise. Oh heck. Right, last time round, I'll go into the haul in a minute. Last time around, you might remember I said I had just started something and I had a circle of white Well, it was that circle of white. It wasn't worth showing you. This is one of the ornaments for my grandsons. They are slowly getting a set. So this is for the 3-year-old, because the 4-year-old had this one last year. So the 2-year-old will get this one next year, so that they all eventually end up with a full set. There's a Santa, there's the snowman, there's a gingerbread man, there's a nutcracker, there's a reindeer, there's a penguin, there's a fairy, which I won't do, and I'm sure there was something else. Oh, polar bear. They've just brought out polar bear. Well, not just, a couple of months back. So that is the snowman tube ornament from Thread a Bead. It's lovely to do. He doesn't come with instructions to do the bottom of him like that, but it annoys me not having his bottom covered. I know that sounds silly, but there you go. It's a Christmas ornament, so of course we have to have jingle bells on the bottom, and then we have a 2024 charm as well. It just needs a piece of ribbon to hang him up. And then once I'd finished him, excuse me, I do hope the washer's not distracting you too much. It's spinning out now. I made a start on my next project. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just having a look through. Came across Can you guess what it is? You start here with his eyes and you work your way up. That is a barrel swivel. You probably can't see it in there. Probably not, no. It's a balloon. It will be. Eventually, it'll be Rudolph. So there we go. I've started decreasing now for the bottom of the balloon, and obviously I've just started on decreasing his muzzle. I tell you what, I will never make another one of these. I have had to undo it so many times because the pattern is not very well explained in places, that if I hadn't had to undo some of the rows so many times, I would probably have this section of it finished now and be working on his horns. So like this bit here, 3 times I had to redo that. Admittedly, one of the times was because the thread broke on a decrease here and it just peeled away, and I'd done about 4 or 5 rows after it, so I wasn't happy. But he's getting there, slowly but surely. I will be very happy when he is finished, and he will be on my tree this year. Wash is just finished. That's what that beep is. It'll beep again in a minute because I haven't been and turned it off. I have a working thread as ever, and this comes in when you come to stuff it. It's to hold the barrel swivel central. So when you stuff it, you stuff around those and keep tension on them to keep it in the centre. So there we go. That's my beading. I can't believe I didn't show it yet. Normally it's the first thing I do. I think I'm having one of those. If I had a brain, I'd be dangerous days. Right, now we'll do the haul. When I went to Yorkshire Stitchers last month, Lisa, is it Lisa? Lisa from No More Lost Needles was there and had needle minders, and I got myself that one, and I forgot to show it you last month. It's a nice needle minder actually. It works really well. It's a good strong magnet on it. So, and then I was browsing, well actually no, I watched Cotton and Clay Butterfly Stitches Flosstube. I thought I'd go and have a look at what ones she had. It's a hexagon with hexagons on. Need I say more? I did buy another one, but that's a gift for someone that watches this, so I can't show you that. Please do excuse the horrible state of my nails. So I haven't used it as yet because I thought if I use it, I'm going to forget about it, which is why I forgot about the other one because I was using it. So I've left it sat waiting. So this will go onto a project. It might go on to Toner later, I don't know. It might go on to something else. I was walking home from town past the curtain shop. Again, you know what's coming, don't you? And I bought this one. Hand sew only. Because it's velvet. And I bought it because I want to finish my embroiderers, which was the project I was going to start as soon as I'd finished recording my first Flosstube. And I finally plucked up the courage to make it into a drum. And I couldn't find anything in my stash at home, but I was walking past and they had this book of velvet. And right at the very back was a piece of black, so I bought it for that, just so that I could put that on the top of my drum. But it's got some beautiful colours in it that will get used for other things, I am sure. But as I say, I bought it specifically for the black. And whilst I was there, I was chatting to them about Amazon delivery. I was chatting to them about I needed to find something for the bottom of it, and she went and had a route and found this piece of linen that they'd done some project for somebody. So I've now got a big piece of linen to put on the bottom of it, which is also black. I ordered the new special edition Just Nan. This came yesterday. Bought this from Northgate Needlecraft. She posted about it and I was like, I'd love one, but I can't afford it till payday. She very kindly put one aside for me, so I paid for it and here it is. It was this more than anything that I wanted to do. I mean, I love it anyway. I do like the main design. Goodness knows when I'll do it, but I don't buy much stash really. So I've got that. And on Love Quilts we have a fundraising page. And the quilters make up bags or small quilts or anything like that that they can sell to raise funds for Love Quilts. And this appeared. And I fell in love with it. And I'm like, oh my God, perfect. Perfect panel for me. Love the fabric. I'm broke. Can't do anything till payday. The quilter messaged me and said, I'll put it aside for you if you want. It's fine. It's no rush. So this also arrived yesterday. Love the panel that's on it. I have no idea what designer it is or anything like that. One of our members, her mum loves to stitch, doesn't know what she's going to do with it all, so it then gets sent off to be made into whatever. because they're too big a thing for a quilt, but they can be used for fundraising. I'm like, one about sort of sewing in general, and sunflowers. Oh my God. When it arrived yesterday, I was actually quite surprised by just how big it is, because obviously the pictures that they post online doesn't do you any justice. And then it's got a magnetic clasp. It's got some lovely long big straps on it, and then we've got that inside with a nice big pocket. I fell in love with it. Even my partner said, when I showed it him last night, he was like, you could use that as your stitchy bag, you know, when you go out on your days. And that's probably what I'm going to do with it. But I couldn't resist it. Especially when she said she'd hang on to it for me. So this arrived yesterday. I absolutely adore it. It is fantastic. And well worth every penny. Say it's going to go towards love quilts, and the postage was included as well, which was a good thing as well. I've been buying on Amazon. Like I said, I finally plucked up the courage to have a go at doing a drum finish, and one of the things that they all seemed to use was this big square thing with all these little different circle of holes in. Draw it round, cut it out. That's going to be a bit of an issue for me. I know that cutting out card, especially thicker card, is going to make my hand play up. So I had a browse around Amazon, and I thought that one. Because obviously I'm going to need to cut circles of card. So this, you unscrew this a little bit, just to loosen it off, and then you slide it up and down. This is hollow, so the blades are inside there at the moment. So you put your blade in, you do that to whatever you want, and then that bit is your centre, and then you just swivel it round like that. I thought that's going to be a lot easier for me to cut circles. So you never know, by the next one I might have actually worked my way through and finished it. It would be nice. It would be very nice. And then, last bit, I went to the Festival of Quilts to help out on the Sparkly stand. And as ever, I got a chance to have a wander around toward the end of the day, and there was a quilting guild. I can't remember the name of it. And they had a tombola. You pulled out a milk bottle top. If you had a picture in it, you got to pick. So I won. There was a big pile of all sorts. There was all sorts of sizes of pouches. There was wallets, and there was loads of different stuff, and you just literally had a route around, found out what you like. So I went for that, so he's got that on the front, that on the back. I've no idea what's going to go in it, and then lovely sort of swirly blue on the inside. I just thought it's a nice handy little size for something. So I don't know what I'll use it for, but it was £1. It was a fundraiser. You know, 50-50 chance of, from the way I can gather, there was a 50-50 chance of you getting something or not. And I got that. I bought myself a chart. Cross-stitch sampler from Soda Stitch. Goodness knows when I'll get to it, but again, I thought that if I was doing, well, not if I was, I am going to be doing some secret stitching soon. but this is one of those things that you could easily pull bits and pieces off for a smalls exchange, or to put in, you know, those little wooden frames. So like something like this, you could stitch that on a reasonably high count, and it go in one of those little oval wooden hoops. So I got myself that. And then looking through the pre-loved stuff, and now this has been in there for ages, not until last time round it never really appealed. Got that, which is just a needle roll and a mini sampler. Again, depending on what count you did it in, you could just frame it or make it into a pillow, or make the needle roll up as a smalls exchange, which like I say, I will be doing a smalls exchange soon. In October, the cheshirestitchers will be 1 year old, and so there's going to be a smalls exchange for it. So I don't know, I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but I need to get going. And then lastly, I came home with something else, but it's not mine, if that makes any sense. I've got a few things to stitch for Kate from Shannon Christine. So what her plan is, I stitch each one, and then she's going to make them up back to back. I'm just waiting for her to send the Krynic and the beads, because I don't have them. If I had the Krynic, I would have made a start, and I got rid of all my Mill Hill beads, so I definitely haven't got those. So as soon as they arrive, I will make a start. I do have a slot. If you remember, I said I was going to stop at 50 PhDs. I've got 49. I purposely didn't start something else because I knew I had these. So I've got the Santa, the snowman, another snowman, and a polar bear. I don't know what order I'm going to do them in as yet. It's entirely up to me what order I do them in. They aren't very big. They're all 50 by 50, so they're not huge. Like I say, I'm just waiting for the Krynic and beads to come. And I apologise for the crinkling. They're being done on this. Sparkle is Virgo. So hopefully next time round there will be at least one of them to show you. Like I say, I purposely left a gap. I knew I had these to do, so the picture doesn't show it very well. It's sort of, it's because it's a sunny day and I've not closed the blinds or anything, but it's sort of blues and purples, very subtle. But I will enjoy doing that. And that is everything. So my next video will be, depending, it's supposed to be on the 1st of September, but that is my partner's rotated 4 days off. But he quite often does overtime on the Sundays. So if he does, then I will record on Sunday, the 1st of September. Otherwise, it would be Wednesday, the 4th. Yeah, 4th, 3rd or 4th. At which time, I would not normally record midweek, but I will on this occasion because September the 3rd is my 1 year Flossiversary. So I thought, if I can't record a couple of days beforehand, as I say, because he's off work, I'll record afterwards. It would have to be the Wednesday, which I think is the 4th. I'm sure I looked and it was the 4th. Because he's off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so I couldn't record on the Tuesday, and the Monday I had the boys. So it will be on the 4th of September, so there will be giveaways. One of which, as I said before, will be a bag I've made. I just don't know what yet. I haven't decided. And there will be other bits and pieces as well. So I will see you then, I hope. Well, I'll see you. Whether or not you'll see me is a different matter, but fingers crossed you'll come back. If you, like I say, if you're a new subscriber, you'll come back and you'll say hello and subscribe. And I will see you then. Until then, take care of yourselves and happy stitching. Bye.